They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Steps away to his left. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. Scrambling not particularly a Roethlisberger strong suit, but he does get the job done there and gets a first. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play.
Now Bell hit. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. Forced out to his left. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. Charles, earlier we talked a lot about Russell Wilson, what a great job he did last year in 2017 as Seattle's offense is working their way back onto the field. But they're probably going to need to find a running game to alleviate some of that pressure on Wilson, right?
Yeah, you think? I mean, my goodness, when you take a look at what Russell Wilson did, he more than doubled the rushing yardage of Mike Davis, who finished 2nd. And Mike Davis didn't begin the year on Seattle's roster. They went through a number of runners this season, none of them that fit and really hit. Chris Carson, they thought was good. They definitely have to find a running game, get back to playing that Seattle football of run first and let Russell Wilson take over from there.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Looking left side, and he's got a man. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Did you see that route? It came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Complete. Richardson has it. Again. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Here's Wilson. They set up the screen to Rawls. And now running right through it. He did it again. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 16 yards there. 2 straight plays of 16 yards and another first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
On second down, Rawls. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Calling a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Escape hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles, the backup quarterback turned MVP, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. And as you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game. Not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
On second down, here's Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Seahawks on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. On 2nd down, Wilson. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust your...
Tyler Lockett, 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 75 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
He went all the way into the end zone. This one fielded at the 5. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Time for the Steelers off. They trail offense. First time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Le'Veon Bell, it's a foot race. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, 73 yards. And the Steelers have now made this a one-score game. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. Boswell on now to kick this one away. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
A running play for Rawls. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
It's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Rawls. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Bud Dupree coming in from that outside linebacker spot to bury him for a loss of 7. Third and long, it's Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. That one goes for 24 yards.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Bud Dupree. And he's got room. Past the 20. 10. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. short throw pick six right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Cameron Hayward able to drop him for a loss of 4. So the D gets the sack on first, and now it brings up second down. Throwing is Wilson. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off by Mike Mitchell. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Should their woes on offense continue, that's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
Now a first down carry by Bell. Had a good move, but only able to work it to the 20-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Again, it's Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and just like that, it's third down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. And that is no good. He pulled it just a bit, just a wee bit wide left. And this score will stay right where it is. So a bullet dodge there defensively. They surrender excellent field position on the kick return, but it winds up not costing them a thing.
And that's a tough sequence of events from an offensive perspective. The inability to get first downs leads to the field goal try. And the inability to cash that in leads to nothing on the scoreboard.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Room here to run. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, you know, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
And they're going to go soft on the corners. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. This complete to Lockett. And getting this just shy of midfield, spotted at the 49. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And some room to maneuver. And he'll get it down here to the 43. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Yeah, the defense definitely showing blitz here. Now a toss. This is Rawls. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. Third down. Here's Rawls. There goes Thomas Rawls. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Thomas Rawls, 46 yards. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the fourth. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on third down, doesn't matter how far they need for a first down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, pick up the first down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, well, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
On second down, Roethlisberger. Now being hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Flush to his right. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. He hits Baldwin right side. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. On first down, Wilson. Buying time to his left. And that'll be incomplete. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The Seahawks on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. And some extras coming up on the line here, ready for the blitz. Wilson to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here's John Ryan now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He gets it away, and I think they'll smartly play keep away here from Brown. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see.
And he can't find room to run. Bell's going to go down, and that is going to be a safety. And that disastrous play partner is ultimately going to seal their fate in this one, isn't it?
It certainly is, because they give up the 2 points, but that's not really what did it. It's having to give up the football. And because they gave up the football, guess what? The other team now can take the ball and close this game out. Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game. For here's where the breaks are made. It's the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. Flushed out right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing now is Wilson. And Graham's got it over the middle. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be 5 for 8 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Richardson. It's a gain of 8 there, and that should be enough to seal the victory. A gutsy decision there going for it on 4th, but they got it, and that likely puts an end to this one.
Indeed, it was gutsy because there's so many other options they probably could have exercised in that situation, but they bet on themselves, and it paid off.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Wilson wants to throw it. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. T.J. Watt from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. Now Wilson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up.
Oh, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our crew to make sure that we were comfortable up here, as comfortable as one could be. In these elements, they took care of us and made sure we were dressed properly.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Seattle.
Yeah, you know